Chris, will the news that the president wanted to fire Robert Mueller but then changed his mind factor into the Russia collusion/obstruction investigation at all?
Yeah, Tom, it certainly could, because one of the things, as you say, that Robert Mueller is looking at is not just collusion with Russia, but that the president was trying to obstruct the investigation. Now, in May of 2017, he had fired FBI Director James Comey, and as a result, the Justice Department appointed Robert Mueller as the special counsel. If the very next month, in June, as reported, the president ordered his staff to fire the special counsel, that certainly does seem to indicate intent, and that would be a key part of any case. Now, look, I'm not saying that Mueller is going to bring charges of obstruction against the president, but this certainly adds to the evidence.
Let's turn to immigration now, another hot topic, especially here in Metro Atlanta. We pay very close attention to that. The president just laid out a set of principles, including allowing nearly 2 million so-called DACA recipients residency here in the United States. Does this administration accomplish what others were unable to do when it comes to immigration and border security?
Well, you know, they say a good compromise is one where nobody is happy, and nobody is happy with the White House blueprint that was offered this week. The left, immigration supporters, are very upset at the idea of a 10 to 12-year window for these 1.8 million Dreamers, or people that could be eligible for Dreamer status, to become U.S. citizens. On the other hand, you've got a lot of Republicans who feel that that concession by the president amounts to amnesty, and there also is a sharp disagreement about what the president wants in return, and that is some very tight restrictions on both illegal and legal immigration. This isn't going to be the bottom line. This isn't the plan that Congress has any chance of passing. But at least, and this is one of the things that both Democrats and Republicans wanted, it puts the president on the record as to what he wants, what he will accept, and is at least the starting point for a possible negotiation. But the fierce reaction from both the left and right indicates that this is going to be very hard to pull off, and we're talking about trying to do it in a little over a month.
All right, finally, Chris, something else our viewers care very much about, and that is the economy. The president just over at an economic summit in Switzerland talking up the U.S. economy. We're seeing the Dow Jones Industrials, people's 401ks hitting record highs. November, admittedly, is still a long way away, but you got to think that Republicans are a little more optimistic than they were about the midterm elections.
Absolutely. It really did look, and all the generic polls continue to show, that when people are asked, would you rather have a Democrat or a Republican representing you in Congress or controlling Congress, that the Democrats still have a good lead. But the president's approval numbers and Republicans' approval numbers have gone up, especially since passage of the tax reform bill. People were saying, look, we gave you the keys to Capitol Hill, we gave you the keys to the White House, you haven't accomplished anything. Now they have, and as you say, it is directly affecting people's pocketbooks, the stock market, record highs almost every week, GDP growth strong, unemployment almost lower than it has been in recent history. That doesn't necessarily mean, because there's still a lot of concern with the president's policies in other areas, and also, frankly, some concern about his behavior, the tweets, things like that. But the Republicans are in a lot better shape now than they were a month ago.
All right, we always know that you get the big gets on Fox News Sunday. What's coming up this weekend?
Well, the big story on Tuesday is going to be the State of the Union, where the president will lay out his agenda for 2018, including on immigration, including on infrastructure, and also talking about 2018 and the election, in effect, the blueprint for what the Republicans will go to voters saying that they have done and intend to do. We're going to be talking to Mark Short. He's the head of legislative affairs. He's the top liaison between the White House and Capitol Hill. We'll get a preview from him about the president's State of the Union address, and then the Russia probe, which continues to overshadow everything. And now Republicans are pushing back on the probe and saying that there was real bias and even corruption in the FBI and the Justice Department. We'll be talking to the head of the House Oversight Committee, that's Trey Gowdy, about all of that.
All right, Chris Wallace coming to us tonight from Washington. Chris, we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you so much, Tom.